Okay, hi guys. It is Bookworm 21. Second book review this week. Been kind of a busy week of reading. Reorganizing some books, which in my mind is always really super organized and everything's gonna be this way and that way in my mind. And when I actually start doing it, it's tiring, it's confusing, and it's stressful, and it really makes my neck hurt. I just pulled a muscle. It's not good. So anyway, book reviews are going good. Getting kind of low on some new books. So I'll be rereading some old books, old favorites, and posting the new reviews that I've never done. So you'll get a chance to see those. New books should be coming. Gotta do some more book shopping. Okay. Well, I do have a new book review for you, so get excited, get excited. This is called Willow, by Julia Hobbin, and the other title is It's Hard to Keep a Secret When It's Written Raw All Over Your Body. So there's the cover. Okay. Plotline. Willow is a 17-year-old girl who the year before was out with her parents, and her parents got super drunk, and she drove them home, and she was going around a curve, and there was a really bad accident, and her parents were killed. So, I mean, it's not like it was intentional, but it was an accident. Her parents are dead. She's living with her brother right now. And Willow's going through, a lot of guilt, a lot of turmoil, a lot of self-loathing. So Willow is now cutting herself. And so Willow's a cutter. So Willow's doing that for a while. And everything with her brother is really super tense. I mean, there's all this unsaid stuff that they need to say about the accident and what Willow's doing, and of course they're not saying it, they're just keeping it very, quiet. And her brother's got a wife and a new baby, and it adds to the tension. So Willow's going along and doing her cutting when she meets this guy named Guy. G-U-Y. I know, kind of dumb, but whatever. And he goes to the same library where she works. And they kind of start talking because they're both interested in the same books. And he wants to be an anthropologist. And Willow's parents were anthropologists. So what happens is, one day they're out hanging out. And he knocks over her bag, and out tumbles her cutting supplies. Her razors, her knives, her band-aids, whatever. And she's shown this stuff to people before in a vain attempt for someone to notice. It's a cry for help. Here I am, look at me, look what I'm doing. No one's gotten it yet. But Guy gets it. And he puts two and two together, and he freaks. So there's this whole thing of him wanting to tell her brother, but not. So he keeps it secret. But now that he knows about it, he's in her life. And he's trying to get her to stop. And of course she doesn't want to stop. So they have some adventures of, dredging up her past, and she tells him about what happened. And it goes along there for a while, and finally she has a kind of out with her brother, and they don't talk about the cutting, but they do talk about stuff they need to, their issues. And the book ends with her throwing away her supplies, her cutting supplies, and saying it's a new beginning. Okay, well, I liked the book. It did run a little long. The chapters were pretty thick, and, it's not something that you're going to read in a weekend. It took me about 2 weeks. There's not a lot of chapters, but each chapter is pretty, good, thick, wordy. The only problem I have with this book is I'm the kind of person that I want a resolution. You know, I wanted to see her admit to her cutting, tell her brother, get some therapy, you know, happy ending with a bow. But in real life, it's not that way, so it's kind of good, I guess. But it did have a tendency, she kind of had a tendency to blah, 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 blah. She's really in her head a lot, you know? She really is one of these people that she analyzes every little thing to death. So every little conversation was gone over from 14 different angles. And after a while, it was like, shut up. He bought you an ice cream cone. It's not, you know, an ice cream cone is an ice cream. It's not that big of a deal. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. She is kind of funny when she does her in her head stuff. Like, you know, her brother will say something and she'll be like, yeah. And in her mind, she has this whole other witty repartee dialogue, which was kind of funny and interesting. I would have liked to see more with her brother. Because to me, there was just so many opportunities for really good fighting, a good story. You know, I mean, because there's all these issues, and they don't talk about it, they talk around it. And her brother was kind of wooden and stiff. Very cold, very like, yeah, okay, I'm over here, but don't talk to me too close. Okay, good. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the author is a first-time author, so, you know, you can't expect fabulous things, I guess. It did raise the issue of cutting, you know. I mean, I've read stuff about it, but maybe for you people who have never read about it, it might be good. So, yeah, it was pretty good. But other than that, it good, not great. Probably a library book, I would suggest. Don't, you know, because it is how much? Yes, well, $8.99, so you're not like, you know, out $40 or whatever. So it's up to you people. So there's my opinion. But until next time, keep reading. You know I will. Bye.